like to thank our sponsor, the Negroni.
Yes, we all have these. Gentlemen, cheers if you would. Caleb.
It stuck to
already.
Already screwed up. Yeah.
I will get a paper towel.
Take 2 on the toast. Good.
Yep. That's a Negroni.
So, you guys saw Weapons?
We did.
We did. Yeah, Weapons is crazy good, and all I expected from Zach Kreger.
Yeah. Obviously, without saying too much, because Caleb still has yet to see it. Hate to be like a Zach Kreger stan, but I'm kind of glad that this is a sophomore movie. It's bigger and better in every way for like a movie of this kind of caliber, compared to what Barbarian was for me. So
I should see it.
Yes, absolutely see it.
Yeah, I wanted to see it. I didn't really care for Barbarian. Full disclosure, horror movies are not like the thing that I really gravitate to very often, but it did look interesting. There was a lot of hype about how it was like crazy, and I really wanted to see it. It did not come to my town though, but I did have Bad Friends 2 playing at the... I hear Danny.
Did they play Fantastic Four?
Yes. Yeah, they had Fantastic Four.
So they chose that.
James Gunn, Superman.
Interesting choices, yeah.
Nothing good to watch, though.
I guess that's what happens when you're in a small town and they give, like, Christian cinema owners whatever.
Yeah, you know? And it's mind-blowing to me because it's a college town, and if there's one... all those movies, if there's one that college students are going to see, I mean, I guess even Marvel, like, I don't think people are really flocking to the... Like, young people are not flocking to that anymore, right? At least in droves. Like, more people are going to go see Weapons. It's like the most talked about movie. It's the genre that always does well with young people. Movie come? No, did not come. So, no, I did not get a chance to see it. But I haven't been spoiled on it yet, at least I think. I guess we'll talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you've been spoiled because you told me what the spoiler was, and that's...
The 2 movies, yes.
Yeah, what they're like, which we won't say.
I'll say it.
But yeah, I agree with you, Nick. I'm glad that this movie was still a banger.
Yeah.
Because Barbarian I liked well enough, and Barbarian I thought like... You know, first act is definitely the most normal, but I thought kind of the most boring. And then there's very clear, like, 3 different distinct acts. Weapons, I thought, did a better job of just having like a consistent pacing and without, sectioning it off too much. The story is portrayed in a certain way, and I don't think this is a spoiler, but just people's like point of view.
Yeah. Like the way that the movie is structured in terms of like storytelling.
Yes.
It's not really like a linear... Well, it is linear, but it's not really as linear.
You're seeing the same events from different points of view. But it does feel like consistently, except for some parts in the middle, it does feel like a very good, consistent pace.
Is this... So this movie's like 15 minutes of one person, 15 minutes of another?
It's definitely... It's not... it's skewed a little bit. I think that there's some... Even though like... the marketing of this movie, it almost seems like they're all like equal weighted. I think that a lot of this movie is still like very heavily like skewed in like Julia Garner's favor.
Yeah.
To a lot of ways. She is kind of like almost the protagonist. Same with Josh Brolin's character, but at the same time they're...
Yeah, they definitely are the like standout leads. And there are other points of view that do like add to the story. I do have to say, I mean, the entire cast was great. I don't think there was like a single weak link. I mean, I like Benedict Wong's character, and there's a the fucking scene where he is just getting food, and it's just like 7 hot dogs.
Yeah.
This has been on social media, so it's
Is this the scene with the crazy thumbnail? I saw an insane thumbnail of Benedict Wong with like his eyes bulging out of his skull and like his face is bloody.
That's from that portion of the movie, but because it's like his own point of view aspect.
Yeah, not that specific. No, that comes later.
I forgot where I heard it from, but there is like a specific reasoning. It's kind of like an inside joke with Zach Kreger of like why there's 7 hot dogs, because it's so ridiculous. So, like if somebody were to set that up on a production set, they're like, yeah, this is what the production designer gave us, 7 hot dogs. Someone would question it,
7 hot dogs, like Lay's potato chips and like carrots and ranch dip is the most like autistic meal of all time.
That was just Benedict Wong's lunch that he brought to set. He was like, it's for the character. He has a problem.
We might as well use it. Yeah.
I'm not saying anything wrong here. Looking at the camera right here. They are a gay couple.
Yeah.
Wong and
It's his husband.
It's a very
I
fitting
don't remember
husband.
who. I don't even know who plays. His
No,
husband.
well, Benedict Wong definitely the top though.
Yeah.
Based on how they act. But
so you're saying this is why it didn't come to the Christian-owned theater in my
It could have
town.
been. Yeah.
dude, actually maybe. But you are right. The 7 hot dogs is a reference to a Whitest Kids You Know sketch, which
Yeah.
him and Trevor were members of. I don't know the name of the sketch, but it is something like Trevor Moore is a doctor, and someone asked him if eating 7 hot dogs a day is a lot, and he's like, yeah, it's a lot. And that is another point. Zach Kreger, I watched an interview with him, said that this movie is basically, he wrote this to come to terms with his grief about Trevor Moore passing away.
Yeah.
So this is not, what do you call it, like survivor's guilt or anything, but it is like coming to terms with just like your friend, one of your best friends dying, like in a very tragic way. I think Trevor Moore like fell off his balcony when he was drunk and like, just died.
Without getting too far, once again, into spoilers, we're trying to kind of really stray away from that. But there is an aspect of this movie that kind of coincides with his own childhood and how he has dealt with like alcoholism in his family, from what I've heard in interviews. So that's kind of like an interesting take. It definitely is made about his friend, obviously, but then also just people in his family and his own experiences. So it's a very personal level movie, I think, for him, for sure. So
another thing he said is, and these are in interviews, so I'm not like spoiling any single thing about the movie, but he said that every character in the movie is a different way he processed the grief over Trevor dying. So like Julie Garner's character, Josh Brolin, a bunch of the others in town are like different aspects of how he was like, angry and like remorseful, felt some guilt. But I mean, he didn't really contribute to it in any way.
Sure.
But every character he said is basically a different part of him.
Yeah.
So it is a very personal movie, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could agree to that.
This is all very surprising to hear. I didn't know about any of these angles or aspects of the movie. I thought this was a movie about how kids like ran out of their house in the middle of the night because like Pornhub was asking for their ID and they're like they didn't know what to do with themselves or something. I don't know. All I know about this movie is that it's like kids disappear. Like the stuff you get in the trailer, kids are gone and Josh Brolin's mad and someone did it and everyone thinks it's the blonde teacher. But from what I understand, from what you guys are talking about and from what you said about the influence from Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia, is that deeper than just the cop character?
Yeah, so the Magnolia aspect, and it's kind of a sin, but I've never seen Magnolia. That movie does have like different point of view characters, right?
Yeah, that movie it's just a Robert Altman ripoff. It has like 25 people in it, and maybe like 10 of them are central to their story, and it's taking place in real time over the course of one day in the lives of all these people, like banging into each other and ruining each other. It's like Crash. It's like a better Crash. It's good Crash.
It's good Crash.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. Yes. So to that certain extent, the way that the storytelling is done, yes, Magnolia is probably a pretty big aspect. Based on interviews he's talked about, the cop character in general is kind of a total ripoff from that movie. He's even said it.
He did. Yeah, that is right. Yeah.
So yeah, I think in a lot of ways, I think probably he did take a lot of inspiration from that movie in general.
Yeah.
So
more of a character-centric thing than you get with most movies that blow up like this.
Yeah. And to go back to what you were saying too about how this movie, like the marketing around it is just like, oh, these 17 kids go missing. That's it. You know what I mean? Like you're kind of trying to figure out what is the real mystery here.
Mm-hmm.
That is kind of how the movie plays out too. They've done such a good job at hiding kind of really what the real true horror of it is. We cool to talk about Barbarian spoilers?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Barbarian's
been out and streaming, so
it's been out long enough.
We do recommend Barbarian.
Yes.
I mean,
that movie, the way that, the marketing of that, it almost makes it look like the very first 30 minutes of that movie is pretty much all they take the marketing material from. Trailers, everything. Yeah. And then there's a certain point of that in Barbarian where it just switches over to Justin Long's character. And then you're like, wait, what am I getting myself into? The movie completely changes tone. Somewhat to this movie too, like they really did just take like the first like 10 minutes, I swear, and all the marketing is almost from the first 10 minutes of the movie.
I love that.
So
yes, I love that.
So yeah, I think that's a cool aspect. It kind of throws everyone off guard because they're expecting something going in, and they just kind of completely get blindsided in terms of what you're expecting. In terms of like it's kind of a horror movie, kind of a mystery.
I can definitely say what I thought was going to happen did not happen, which is what I want in like a horror movie or something like this that's like, subversive. I do want to say something because a lot of people going into this movie saw, the broken windows, an entire class of kids missing, and they thought like, oh, this must be like, a metaphor for like school shootings and stuff. Specifically, once you watch it, you're like, oh, that's not really what it is. So yeah, don't go into this thinking that this is like inherently like a politically charged thing. There are definitely like, elements to it, but it isn't as like cut and dry as like, broken windows, kids, a school. It really is more nuanced than that.
Are the kids conspiring to do something? Are they up to no good? Or are they the victims of no good? Or is that a spoiler?
Oh, that's really
it's not really a spoiler. I mean, they're victims.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. They're absolutely victims.
They're not getting the kids don't stand to gain anything from running out of their house. Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to try to keep this very vague.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
If we were getting into more spoilery talk, I feel like we'd be also robbing you of the experience going in. I'm kind of curious to know how you'll think of the movie after, because once again, you didn't like Barbarian, so going into this, I don't know.
It is better than Barbarian.
Yes, it is absolutely better than Barbarian.
So you'll at least have a better time.
Sure.
Yeah.
But because knowing horror movies is not like really your thing. But this isn't, I don't know. I don't really consider this much of a horror movie. It's kind of, it's more thriller.
It's hard to describe because some people are like, it's a horror comedy, and other people are like, no, it's really a horror movie first. It is kind of one of those things, as hacked as it is to say, is kind of like, genre bending and hard to really put down. There are some moments that like, are genuinely like terrifying, like you'll have a jump scare, and then Josh Brolin will be like, what the fuck? Yeah, there's a certain scene. There is a scene, because Zach Krieger, I didn't realize, took a lot of inspiration from movies. Like he talked about like something like Picnic at Hanging Rock, that Peter Weir movie. There's a scene in here near the end that reminded me of a very famous scene from Inland Empire. I think you probably know the one I'm talking about. It is a very good scene, and it was like, whoa. But I didn't realize how much film knowledge he had. So, it is a very rewarding experience if you've seen like any of the films he's talking about, because he doesn't just lift. He's not like Quentin Tarantino being like, I like that, I'll do that. He does it's a very inspired direction. I loved it, actually.
When I watched this in theaters too, I was a little not conflicted with the comedy, because a lot of people in my theater, I think, is like what kind of created this weird expectation of it. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of laughs during this movie, but it was hard to tell at the time of like whether it was purposely done, like supposed to be like comedic in any way. But there were definitely some parts near the end where you're just like, Zach Krieger knows exactly what he was doing when he made this. This is composed like a comedy. Like pretty much like the shot like is specifically to make you laugh.
And I want to keep this as vague as possible, but the ending, like the last 5 minutes maybe is basically him just like giving you the goods.
Yes.
He's just like, you've been waiting for this the entire time, and I'm going to go balls out and give it to you. I'm not going to, pussyfoot around and be like, well, actually, it was fantastic. The ending is really great.
Okay.
It comes to a head where you're just like, I expected something like this, and then you're pleasantly surprised at how well it happens. And like, oh man, I fucking love the ending. I could talk about it for an hour.
So it's like a good execution of what like Ari Aster tries to do.
It sticks the landing.
I'm making an elevated horror movie, but it's kind of like, it's like these people who love like Scorsese and Wes Anderson, and like they want to like do those kinds of movies, but they have to put it in a horror genre. And you get the feeling they kind of resent doing that. This is a movie that does that, but it doesn't resent the fact that it has to be genre. It's kind of just a genuine embracing, or what do you call it? Integration of those two disparate things.
And honestly, so Ari Aster, obviously his sophomore film, Midsummer, kind of didn't really live up to my expectations like whatsoever. I don't think it did for most people.
It's kind of mid. Yeah.
So it was cool to see Zach Krieger's sophomore film like be basically like a break in the mold. Like, can a comedian kind of do it? Same with Jordan Peele. Get Out is renowned as a great movie. And then
I like it.
Us is like a very like, not nothing burger. It's just, there's a lot of problems with it that as a sophomore filmmaker, then you're kind of like, well, you think you would have learned this stuff already.
We saw that sophomore film in our sophomore year, and it was like a dead silent, like there was just a palpable, like you could feel the, everyone was going in excited for this crazy thing, and like the entire audience was just Like, it was a very big letdown experience for sure.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Get Out, and like, I don't know a ton about Zach Kreger's Kreger. Change your name. I don't know a ton about Zach Kreger's work before Barbarian. I know that he was making comedy, Whitest Kids You Know, you said? Yeah, I didn't even know that. But you mentioned Get Out. Spoilers. I saw a tweet that compared this movie to Prisoners and Get Out. It said it was Prisoners meets Get Out. And what I took from that is, well, Prisoners, we have kids that disappeared, we don't know why, and then we learned it's this fucked up person doing a fucked up thing. Get Out, people are disappearing, we don't know why, and it's these fucked up people doing a supernatural thing that couldn't really happen. Is that what this movie is?
I think from the Prisoners aspect, like the way that this movie is marketed, I think it absolutely does hit that nail on the mark pretty much exactly for Prisoners.
Yeah.
The Get Out aspect,
I actually would say that it is kind of close in terms of stuff that is just unexplained and they make you go with it.
Sure.
So
it's like so batshit crazy that...
Yeah, it's one of those things where, I mean, in like a horror movie that does maybe have like elements that are just like, not real, I do like how, anything like that did happen, they're just like, this is what's happening. Here's the rules of it. Just go. It's they don't have to have like a backstory of like whatever. It's I don't know.
Why is it called Weapons? Are the kids building weapons? Are they the weapons? What's the weapon?
I think from the aspect that you were bringing up earlier, it's kind of like, are these kids like the victim? That's kind of where the weapons aspect comes into. Yes, it's one of those things that isn't like a cut and dry answer.
Okay.
So there isn't something of just like, the kids are weapons. Actually, there's no like inherent like line that explicitly says anything.
Okay.
So this movie does have a lot of stuff that's really open to interpretation. Like there's a Josh Brolin dream sequence that I won't say what it is because I want your opinion on it when you do see it. But there are a lot of things that happen that you're like, oh, okay. I wonder what that means. Something happens, in a dream that doesn't have any bearing on the story, but you're like, it is very like jarring, and I don't know what I think of it, if I like it or dislike it.
I think it's something a lot of people question, actually, is that dream sequence specifically. It's like, Why is this in the movie?
Yes, and I mean, this might be a thing too, if Zach Kreger said that every character in some way is based on him. This could be something of if he's dealing with grief and can't really explain all his feelings, but he did feel it. That's what I feel like a lot of the characters do here, where it's like they don't make stupid decisions, but there are certain things that happen where it's like Zach probably acted in this way and is like, this was a genuine thing that I experienced. So I need to put it in some way, just for it to be authentic. I mean, all the characters are well acted. They do things that aren't stupid, especially in horror movies. Yeah, I mean, there are some decisions that are smarter than others, but for the most part, there wasn't just like, in horror movies, like, oh, don't go in the barn, he's the barn killer or whatever. So, yeah.
Is the dream sequence where that shot comes from of the kid with like Joker makeup smiling in the back of the class?
No, it is not.
No.
It's different.
No, it isn't.
So that's real life.
It's not real life.
Oh, so it's a different dream sequence.
It's a different dream sequence.
Okay. It's a lot of dreams. Zach Kreger's a hack, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's 2 rules in movies. Don't start a movie with an alarm clock going off and someone waking up in bed. Don't have a scene with a child with Joker. No, wait. Don't have dream sequences. Those are the rules.
Number 3, don't have a character that's a screenwriter.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, that's an unofficial your older brother's rule. My other question about this movie, because I really don't want to know too much, and like I said, I haven't been spoiled on it yet, but I am curious. You did say, or at least I think you guys indicated that it's better than Barbarian, yes?
Yeah.
Would you say it's better than 2025's War of the Worlds?
No, it's not better.
Dude, Ice Cube deserves an Oscar.
Let's talk about War of the Worlds.
He deserves both an Oscar and a Razzie.
Yes, he's giving a performance that is so inspired and stale that it's baffling. I mean, I don't expect much from him, but my God.
This is the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's up there, yeah.
This is going to win all of the Razzies. This is going to, at the very least, win the worst remake, ripoff, sequel award. I mean, it's not any of those things, but it is just another adaptation of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. This is a COVID movie.
Yes, it is.
This might be the last COVID movie. I feel like all of them have come out by now.
Yeah, they sat on this for a long time.
You said this was shot in 21?
20 or 21.
Okay.
So they sat on this for like 4 or 5 years.
I think it was 20.
Oh,
I think this was like an early lockdown, like hey, Ice Cube, can you make your apartment look vaguely like NSA headquarters, which is to say, put a desk behind you,
Put a green screen.
and a big board that just has like a picture of the Earth, and that's the NSA in this movie. He's the one person at work that day.
He took a night shift, remember? Or graveyard shift is what his daughter said. Is that what it is? Yeah, I think she said something along. She's like, I see you took another graveyard shift or something.
Oh, so he's already been in the office. Because it is morning. Yeah. It is. Yeah. This is also a one-day movie, just like Magnolia.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you think that, who's the hack that made this movie?
Some like unknown guy.
Yeah. He made like some concert movies or something, but like they were like definitely not ones that people know about.
Yeah.
They probably just threw him a bone. They're like, here you go. Here's a film you could make, I guess.
I remember I looked him up, and he has like one other credit that was just some bullshit movie no one's ever seen, and he was like a crew member on some other bullshit movie no one's ever seen. His name here, but this movie. So you guys saw this before me. You watched it.
Yes, I watched it day one.
Before it was popular.
Yes. This is one thing, because in a prior episode we did, I forget if it was like Naked Gun or something, but I said, oh, Caleb, by the way, I watched this movie that fucking sucked dick called War of the Worlds featuring Ice Cube. Yes. And I feel like I blew my load too early, because I was like, man, this sucks. And I explained some things that happened. And then like 2 days later, all of Twitter, all of Instagram, every social media was just like, guys, it's a huge, like, public event. We're hating on this movie. 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. And man, I'm kind of annoyed that I actually talked about it.
Yeah. It seems like we're just late to the party on this thing, but you watched it first.
It was a day one.
I think you texted like a picture of it or something. Maybe it was the picture of Ice Cube doing there was something.
Yeah, he did the hand on temples. He's like,
yeah. You're like, you need to watch this. I looked it up and I was like, this looks like the worst movie ever. And it really is. This is the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. But I was like, I'm not going to watch that. There's no way. And then you watched it next, I believe.
Yeah, I probably watched it about a week after all the controversies came out. Mm-hmm. Took me 3 watches to get through. 3
sittings to finish.
Yes.
3 30-minute chunks to...
You watch it for 30 minutes, get very pissed off, be like, I need to turn this off for, 12 hours, and I'll come back to it later.
Yeah. I had to make a drink in the middle of it. I had a drink beforehand, and I was just like, I need to get fucked up. It's funny. I asked my roommate, I was like, do you want to watch this with me? And he's like, no. Which, I don't know if that's a good or bad decision, because this movie is dog shit.
Yeah.
But he did miss out on some of the most insane things I've ever seen in a Hollywood film.
It will change your life.
It's life-changingly bad in the shit they do.
You've probably heard about it at this point, but the movie is what if War of the Worlds was from the perspective of an NSA agent at his computer. The whole movie takes place on his computer screen.
Yes.
Where he can instantly access any camera in the world by going on Google Earth and then right-clicking and saying, like, show feed. And everywhere on planet Earth has a camera.
Yes.
And he's watching War of the Worlds play out. He's watching the tripods, like, blow up major cities and kill people. And he is reacting you said every single thing he does is wrong. And it is exactly correct.
They directed him the wrong way.
Yes. I am willing to bet there was no direction. I bet he filmed this in his own house alone, and he just got the script, and they were like, you just record and just like do the Willem Dafoe thing from American Psycho, like do a few different levels of intensity per line reading. He reacts to like 9/11 level events by going, whoa.
Yeah, there's the famous one of him going, is like seeing it just like, it might be like his, no, it's his fucking son. His son is on FaceTime and he's like, Dad, I'm running from the like tripods, and like the feed cuts out and there's a huge explosion. And so his reaction to his like 18-year-old son, who he's raised the entire time, dying, is just, oh,
when
bad.
When the house explodes, he goes, whatever his name is, Zach, I don't know. He's like, Zach!
It doesn't
really have any, bad. It's so bad.
There's the portion too where his son, remember how his son is like in their home or whatever, just
he's gaming.
Yeah, he's like gaming. Yeah. But there is a portion where he thinks after the spoiler alert, after they figure out that his son is like part of this organization, when he thinks that his house is bombed, but then eventually, it comes out to terms of like he's still alive, the house is not bombed, he was actually in a different house. Ice Cube's reaction to his son, first of all, being alive, great. But then he's actually more pissed that his house is probably more exploded than
he's just like, my house is gone.
My house is gone. Yeah, like it's like that is like a ridiculous reaction to your son possibly just getting like blown to spaghetti smithereens.
And one thing about his acting performance is this isn't meant to be like a tongue-in-cheek thing. Like, what's that like comedy movie he did with the two kids? Oh, it's like Are We There Yet? Yeah, like that one is meant to be a comedy movie, so I'm not like expecting a very serious performance from Ice Cube. I don't think anybody is.
It's still a better performance.
This movie's played completely straight. Yeah. This isn't something of just like, oh, it's cheeky, you know, like we got all these like C-list actors to do this. I mean, it's crazy.
The scene in 21 Jump Street where he's like, stop talking to Korean Jesus. He's got Korean shit to deal with. That is the same delivery he has when he finds out that his house was blown up, but that his son was bouncing using his VPN or something to make it look like he was in a different place. Yeah. And he's like, motherfucker, why'd you let my house get bombed? And he's more angry that his house is broken than he was sad that his son might be dead. He's watching when early in the movie when he's talking to the president who's just sitting in the Oval Office, the world is being destroyed.
Yeah.
And like every second, like major monuments and population centers are being bombed and like fire burned. The president of the United States, who is played by a comedic actor from Parks and Recreation, who if you don't know, you know the guy who's always the comedian who's like doing speeches at events in that show, and he's like something at the Wood Awards, whatever. And I said, would I? And he holds up like a wood plank. That's the president in this movie. He gives a speech to the president and like other leaders of the United States government, and he's like giving his analysis, and he's showing footage. At this point, every satellite on Earth has been destroyed by the tripods when they're coming in. Yet everyone can broadcast and has like internet,
and all the footage looks fine.
And CNN is literally, there's news footage of CNN talking about how there is no way to get signal out. The military can't communicate because there are no towers left, there are no satellites, whatever, but they're doing the news.
Yes.
You know, Joe Rogan is tweeting about the fucking...
Oh my fucking God, there's a Tucker Carlson tweet at the end.
There's a Tucker... I didn't see that one. I saw the Rogan one.
I think you were probably passed out and your brain turned off at this point. Yeah. But yeah, it was like Joe Rogan, just like, wow, this is crazy, these fucking tripods and shit. And like Tucker... I will say one thing about this movie that I do like when movies do this is they actually have like real news organizations. Like in Sicario, when like the house blows up, you have like Aaron Burnett on CNN, like an actual newscaster. And that does add some type of like, oh, this is a real world. I'm not saying that War of the Worlds does that. That is probably the only positive thing I have to say about this movie.
Yeah.
It does have actual branding. And this is an Amazon movie.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And that's... My goodness.
Let's talk about the Amazon delivery driver. Let's talk about
what is there to talk about it?
This movie, was this made by Amazon or did Amazon buy this? They would never. It was
Universal created this, I believe.
I don't remember, but it seems like this definitely would be like an Amazon like Studios production.
They had to have been involved because why else would you do this?
I don't even know if there was any Amazon branding to begin with. I forgot it was on Amazon.
Oh, so you think that Amazon maybe like gave them money and then...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they just made the movie about Amazon to like...
I think so. I genuinely think so. Because like there's no branding. There's nothing like Amazon Movie Studios. Anything, at least from what I remember, anything linked to this movie. The only thing that's linked to is the Prime free subscription. Like if you have the subscription to Prime, you can watch this movie.
Yes.
So part of me thinks that maybe it was just like a shoehorned in like plot point. They're like, well, how is he going to have a flash drive in like a security type of organization, you know, in the government? Like he's not going to have the flash drive on him. So there's just no way.
And the Amazon driver says, I have a flash drive. So he goes to work every day with a flash drive for some reason.
Sure. That's understandable.
Yeah, sure. He makes a tourniquet for his dying girlfriend with the Amazon really strong, extra good, like copyright pending, whatever. Like he's like, thanks to the Amazon tape, I was able to make the perfect thing to stop the bleeding.
He did it with the tape that used to like close packages when they're open. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
There's that tape thing and the fucking distribution centers. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God.
There is something about like something where he has to lift something or whatever. He's like, don't worry, I know how to. I work for Amazon. He's like, I'm really good at carrying a heavy load. Yeah. And then when they break out the drone, of course, the great drone. The way that this movie has the same ending as Independence Day, where it's like we got to plug in the computer virus to like kill the alien ships.
Yeah.
But the way that they figured out, he's like, I need to get it to the NSA building. He's like, order something from Amazon, and then I'll get the address. We'll send it to you. So when you make an Amazon order, the driver can see it.
which is not how it works.
The driver gets an order. Oh, it's like Uber.
Yes.
Like, oh, I'm in your area, so I'm your Amazon delivery driver now.
Yeah.
He flies a drone through the streets of DC.
DC,
yeah.
Flies a drone through DC to Ice Cube to plug in a flash drive to his computer because the tripods want data.
Yeah, so the tripods are attacking data centers. They find out like 2/4 of the way through the movie, and for some reason, like, you know, there's like a hacker collective that's like Anonymous, and Ice Cube's son is revealed as like the Julian Assange of this group somehow, even though he's like 18 years old, and they give him like bad code that will just like destroy this entire server. So his thing is, once he joins the collective and like says the government is spying on people, there's this very like heavy-handed like
government overreach thing.
Where at first he's spying on his daughter through like cameras, and he's just like, really, you got a bagel that's $10 and all this shit. And then at some point he's just like, this overreach is too far.
Eat something with some protein. They say like 3 times in this movie, they ask him something, he goes, I don't watch blah, blah, blah. I only watch people.
Yeah, he's like, I don't watch people's Amazon shopping carts.
Yeah.
Which is another thing they probably shoehorned
We
in.
don't need any more government agents looking at people's shopping carts.
Yeah, so he has this weird like arc that doesn't really make any... It's not like emotional at all, where he's just like, oh, this is government overreach, and then he joins the hacker collective. They give him like the zip bomb or something, whatever, to put in the data center, and then that's on the flash drive that he like then gets and has to run into like the basement of the server in the building.
Sure.
He's like a Department of Homeland Security, so he like has to go downstairs into the servers and destroy it.
He's I forgot about this angle completely. His son, the hacker son, the beginning of the movie is like watching a live stream, and he triangulates where his son is, and then he sends a Teams message to the guy from the Avengers who is like the head of the NSA, and he says, this so-and-so like Julian Assange streamer is here, please go raid him now. So I guess that's how it works. They kick down the door, turns out he's not him. The son drops hints that he is the hacker. I mean, immediately you know. He's like, Dad, I gotta tell you, I know information about the government. He's like, not again with those conspiracy theories.
Yes.
And then when he finds out it's his son, he finds out by listening to the stream, and then he just has the genius idea, like, what if I put this into like Audacity and I remove the bass, and he just does like minor adjustment, like EQing, and then it's just his son's voice.
Decodes the voice.
Nobody thought to do that before. And then he realizes it's his son. And when he realizes it's his son, he's looking at a screen, he goes like, oh. And then he calls his son. He goes, "It's you! It's you! It's you!" And he backs up, and you can see that his head isn't in the frame, and he realizes it because he's filming himself because it's COVID. And then he like keeps walking backwards to be in frame while he's standing there. He's like, "How could you do that to me, man?"
Yeah.
Yep.
Fucking.
Another gripe with this movie? Everything in this movie is a gripe.
Yes.
But every character that is in a Zoom call has like basically their exposition, whatever organization they're part of. They have like Sandra NASA. It's like, whose Zoom name says anything like that? President of the United States, POTUS. Like, it just says it. It's like, what is this like actually how they think that people think of? Like, they clearly couldn't like, think of how to shoehorn those like script things into the thing itself. They just had to show it visually.
Yeah.
Department of Homeland Security guy is just golfing in the middle of this, by the way, with his AirPods.
Yeah, and he's like in his golf cart at
ridiculous.
some point where he's just like talking to Ice Cube. So like at this point, everybody knows the tripods are attacking. It's basically the worst thing the Earth has ever experienced. And he's just still in his golf cart being like, "Hey, Ice Cube, can you send me your all the data you got so far?" Just like very plainly.
Yeah.
And it's like
nonchalant.
There's no urgency, especially with Ava Longoria's character, who's Sandra NASA. First of all, she's part of NASA and she's storm chasing, which isn't what NASA does. It's like you could say maybe she's from the Weather Channel or she's like some other thing. But she like goes up to this weird pod that gives birth to the tripods, like a weird egg thing, and like it fucking like explodes basically, and Ice Cube has no reaction, and then like the next thing is she's like, I'm okay, that doesn't matter, by the way, the tripod, and there's all this like exposition where it's like these people really only exist to progress the plot. There aren't any like real character motivations besides Ice Cube's wife died, so he's like a very overbearing father. And there is some arc where it's like his daughter's pregnant and he didn't know, and there's like a baby shower that he's not invited to. And then at the end, they reconcile and he's invited to the baby shower. It's like the one actual photo where the cast is together.
It's clearly photoshopped too.
On the anniversary of his wife's death, he sends a message that just says "miss you," and his chat is just like "miss you, miss you, miss you,
Yeah.
miss you, miss you,
Yeah.
miss you." 1 year apart, not silly at all.
Uh,
I loved when Nassin, when she calls him the first time and she's like, Cube, whatever his name is, you need to see, like, are you seeing this? There's extreme weather events. And then she like screen shares, I guess she just edited this video together, and it's just like these lightning fast, no pun intended, shots of like lightning and storms and shit all around Earth really quick. And it's playing at like an insane frenetic pace. And Ice Cube is watching it. He's like, I don't know about that. I just watch people. And it's like, why would you think to call the NSA about like geological issues? There's no like safety concern or anything. She's just like, are you seeing this? The world's experiencing storms. He's like, yeah, you stay on that and follow up with me. Why would he give a fuck?
I guess they're just friends.
Every single interaction in this movie is that level of stupid. Like I mean, the whole movie's terrible and everything, but like if I was trying to take notes on this the way I did for like Where the Crawdads Sing, I would have filled up this entire notebook in the first 30 minutes. And I also had to watch it in 2 parts. I gave up after about an hour the first night.
Yeah.
I was like, I had to do this in the morning. Do you think this movie would be better if it was starring Guy Fieri?
Yes.
Probably. I mean, I will say this, in terms of like actors who weren't like offensive. I mean, so the Amazon driver, his son-in-law basically, is Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And I do love those movies.
That's who it was.
His name is Devin Bostick, I believe. But he was fine for being... I believe somebody who looks like him would be an Amazon delivery driver. I mean, I've trained people at Amazon who look like that. So he was... and the van actually did look realistic. They had the totes.
Yeah.
Because for people who don't know, Caleb and I were Amazon drivers at some point. And the van looked pretty real, and he was okay for what he had to do. I mean, besides like the very obvious, like, I always carry a flash drive, and Amazon has this like one day air delivery. It's like that obviously was a script and not him. It's like you can't make that good.
Yeah.
So he was probably the best because he actually is a real actor.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, Ava Longoria, she's just kind of like reacting to things in like the most boring way. And not that she's like a great actress, but I was like, really? This is the best you can do given the script?
I can't believe you know who any of them are by name.
She's been in shit.
Yeah,
Like-
even
like what?
Longoria,
Yeah.
What's
I
she
don't
in?
know what,
Place
but-
Beyond the Pines.
Who is she in that?
She's, she has like wife. No, fuck, that's a different Latina.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Ryan Gosling's like
Yeah,
real life
yeah.
wife?
Yeah, what's her
no,
name?
that's not her.
What's her name?
Eva Mendes?
Oh, fuck, yeah, no, I got women mixed
She
up.
is in other movies though. she is a well-known celebrity.
She
but
is, she's,
that's
she was,
crazy
oh
to
yeah,
me.
she was in Desperate Housewives,
we just don't
which
know.
none of us
Oh, yeah.
watched,
Yeah.
yeah.
Almost everything I see with young actors in it, I just assume this is their first and last film. Like, and this should be the last
This
film
is-
of anyone who worked on it.
Yeah, I mean, this could easily tank someone's reputation if this is their first film. So
Mhm.
it's like, I mean, you could say like stuff about The Room, sure, like
Yeah.
their reputation is like fucked, but they're still in stuff.
Yeah.
People are still thinking that it's popular.
Yeah.
So I mean, this film will probably be like some weird cult classic in like 10 years. Someone will be like, "This is like the greatest film ever. This is goated. I'm gonna watch this every year as like a some crazy ritual thing." I don't know.
What it might be like the quintessential COVID movie. Because everything about it is like, this movie could have been way better if you were actually in the street. One thing that we didn't talk about is their use of stock footage during like the
Oh my
event.
God.
It's just like cars driving in like Mumbai, just like normally.
Yeah.
No thing that they were getting attacked in like something that's like a billion times worse than 9/11.
Yeah.
All the stock footage is like the soldiers happily walking through to get on like the C-130 to like go fight the tripods.
Mhm.
None of it like really makes any sense, and it was like a Frankenstein creation. So I think in some way people are going to be like, this is like cinematic garbage, but is the best example of it, which is, I think this will be a cult classic. I think it's an instant cult classic, honestly, in terms of something that is just so fucked up.
I don't think there's anything redeemable. And people say this about anything they don't like. I really do think there's nothing about this movie that is good. Quite literally
Correct.
everything.
I agree.
And a movie that takes place on a computer screen, it's inherently difficult to pull that off because, like, how do you edit a movie where you can never leave one perspective, But
Yeah.
like even the editing for what this is bad. There are jump cuts of Ice Cube's face where like it'll go into the corner. He'll open something and his camera will go into the corner of the screen, but you can clearly see there's like a huge jump in time when it did it.
Yeah.
There's nothing about this movie that's graceful. Nothing works. Every single actor is terrible in this movie. I don't care about this Amazon guy from Wimpy Kid. Yeah, okay, that's neat. But he's terrible. Everyone in this movie is terrible. The dialogue is terrible. The story makes no sense. The visual effects are unbelievable. They're unforgivable.
They're worse than the like Tom Cruise War of the Worlds.
It's worse than the Will Smith spaghetti video. It's worse than the AI. The first AI is better than the visual effects in this movie. For the most part. I mean, you're lying to yourself if you think otherwise, right?
I mean, we agree with you.
What are the other like computer-esque movies? So you have Unfriended. You have the one with the guy from Harold and Kumar.
Oh, yes. Is that also called like something?
I don't remember.
Oh, wait, no. Searching?
Yes. Yeah, it's like searching or looking. I think you're thinking of like Unsane, which is that Steven Soderbergh movie that he shot.
That's an iPhone movie.
Yeah.
No, that's not a computer. It
is weird that like these movies have become more like forefront in terms of that. Mm. So I wonder, because at the time, obviously, that was like more of like the theme, like of people trying to make movies. Because I think Unfriended and like that Searching movie or whatever, they came out pretty close to each other.
They were pre-COVID too.
Yeah. So I don't know, like maybe there is like some kind of weird, like maybe we can like bank off of this. Let's make a movie like with Ice Cube in a government office.
It's never worked before, so to work with Ice Cube. And
well, now they made the worst variation of this. So
do you think people are going to try to recreate the magic of this? Do you think they're going to make like
War of the Worlds retold? Like to make it like Shrek retold? Like every single scene is like a different person.
Oh shit! That'd be interesting. Have any actual like directorial charisma. This is the most blandly shot movie of all time.
Yeah.
Like, I do want to say one last thing about how the movie is presented is it has some of the worst tech knowledge of any movie I've ever seen. We were talking about this earlier, but at one point when he joins like their equivalent of Anonymous, he gets a zip file and he uploads it to YouTube. So if you guys don't know, YouTube only accepts video files.
Yeah.
And a zip file is just like condensed shit. That wouldn't happen. He can't drag and drop a zip file to YouTube and get it to work.
He makes a YouTube essay that's like exposing his boss or whatever in Homeland Security in 15 minutes. Did you notice that? It's like it's like 4:50, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'll have this done soon." And then it dissolves like 5:07, and then it's on YouTube, and it's like this like too lazy to try like video essay that he's made with audio of Agent Coulson from the Avengers talking to a general, and the general's like, "I want you to shut down this Goliath program." And he goes, "General, with all due respect, that's never going to happen. I am just too powerful, and no one can stop me."
There's a scene where he's just like, "Yeah, you need to stop the evil program," and he's like, "No, because I'm the evil guy."
Yes.
And it's like, okay.
Then at the end, the dude in the mustache, is he the guy from Star is Born? Who is that guy?
I don't know. It's not Sam Elliott.
It's not Sam Elliott. Discount Sam Elliott.
Sure.
Whoever that guy is. He calls Ice Cube at the end. He's like, "Ice, you've done such a good job with this invasion that I want to hire you to invent a new program." And I wrote this down. He says, like, "I want you to design a new software, surveillance software that won't infringe on people's rights and won't break the Fourth Amendment." Yeah, the government gives a fuck about that.
Yeah.
There's this weird, like, anti-surveillance message to this movie, but it's produced by Amazon.
Yeah. Can I actually go back? What is the whole purpose of, like, the Department of Homeland Security? Like, what is his motive? Why is he angry? Like, why is he, like, okay with the way that things are happening?
Okay with the prevalence of the state?
Or, like, the invasion? Because, like, he's, like, the bad guy. He's the antagonist. So what is the point of him?
He says the positives outweigh the negative, or what? He's like the reward is worth more.
Okay,
because
clearly
it's you did it. You're evil, and you caused this invasion. And he's like at the gym, and he's like, "Actually, Ice, it's actually like it's not that bad in the long run because it keeps us safe or something."
I went going into this movie like after the movie was over, I was like, "Wait, what was the whole purpose of that character?" I actually thought about that. I was like, "What is like? Why are they evil?"
Just an antagonist.
Yeah. He's the evil man who wants to do the evil thing.
Right.
Yeah. I give this movie a 0.
I think this may be as close to, if you believe in giving movies zeros, which I do, this is as close to a 0 as a movie can be. There's no redeeming qualities. Honestly, I was forgiving towards Roderick, but every character sucks, is not fun to look at. It's so baffling that this movie ever got made in this way.
Yeah.
There are a ton of things as I'm watching it where I'm just like, this isn't how this happens. I could have done this better, even in this fucking Zoom ass movie. It's baffling. And yeah, I would agree with you. I think it is a genuine, like, generational dog shit movie.
Yeah.
0 out of 10.
There's a crazy thing of like calling something a 0, or like when you're in school and you get an F, it's like a 50.
Yeah.
Like a 0 is just like the icing on top of the cake. Like you just absolutely like shit the bed.
Yeah.
You did a terrible job. And the fact that it's 0 is very, very telling of this movie. Is very sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's the icing on the cake.
The ice cubing of the
It's the cubing on the cake.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. This movie, you could do like a drinking game with it, but any drinking game I can think of, you would be dead, because it's like if you did a drinking game, like every time Ice Cube like reacts poorly, you'll be like finished with one of these by like scene 2. Like, every single scene, every line he delivers in this movie is completely like off. Like, he doesn't feel like I doubt he was even looking at anything. I bet he was probably just looking into his camera and had no one in the room. Like, he just read his lines on the script. He's like, okay, I'm supposed to say it's you. It's you! He just drops his face immediately. And if you did a drinking game for like every time there's a terrible edit, or every time there's like terrible visual effects, like this movie only has like 3 things in it. It's like he calls his daughter, he calls the Amazon guy, he talks to somebody or observes footage around the world of like the tripods being knocked down. He's like, hell yeah, like get your ass kicked, when he's watching like the robots being toppled over. This movie is just insanely repetitive, and it felt so long. It's exactly 90 minutes, right?
Yes, it feels like eternity.
It was so hard. I really thought I was going to tough it out that one night. I'm like, I'm not going to let this movie beat me. I'm going to get through it before I go to bed. I couldn't handle it. And there's like multiple fake out conclusions. There's like many times where you think, oh, this is going to be the big thing, and like finally I can turn this off, and it's not.
Yeah.
This is not an enjoyably bad movie, although I did watch it alone. Maybe it's enjoyable with a group.
No. I watched it with my girlfriend, and once again, the three viewings wasn't a collective thing. It was like one of us was like, I need to stop before I go crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm like yelling at the screen. I'm doing something that's like, I need to get away from
It's
this.
Emotionally draining.
Yes.
It's something where it's like with The Room, for example, is like, the quintessential bad movie that everybody knows. That is one thing where the stuff is like just so funny that you feel like you don't feel the passing of time at all. And you feel that with a good movie as well. That's like 3 hours. But this movie is just like so dull at certain times, where he's just like writing messages to like the president. And even the action isn't interesting because of the way it's just like shot on the screen.
Yeah.
It really is one of those things that just feels like you're getting your teeth pulled. And I think that actually would have been more interesting if I felt something during this movie.
That's the Rotten Tomatoes blurb. It feels like getting your teeth pulled.
Fuck.
It really does. It's a chore.
Yes.
War of the Worlds. I liked when the president, by the way, when Ice Cube gives his analysis, he's like, they're going after our infrastructure, knocking out our power grid, disrupting our communications, and I think they're trying to go after our data. I don't even remember how he figures this out, but he just says all that. The president goes, I am satisfied by your analysis, and this War of the Worlds can now commence.
He fucking name drops, I forgot.
And then he like pushes like a army fight back button. The army then suddenly starts like shooting at the tripods. Yeah. Ice Cube also, the army is like live streaming this.
Dude, I know.
Yes.
Like, it's all happening in real time, right? So this movie is supposed to be in real time.
Yes.
They are able to respond to these, and like the army's already like fighting all these like tripods basically within like 10 seconds of them talking about it. It's
like our combat readiness is pretty good, but it's not that good.
No.
Where it's like they land there, and then in 1 minute you have fucking tanks in the streets of DC shooting at them. Yeah.
There's actually lesser war fighting in DC than there was like overseas or whatever they.
Yeah, randomly they'll be like, oh, there's one, and it's the Eiffel Tower there. And it's just like, the tripod's there, and he's getting all the French data. It's like, they really just use stock footage and like, and Photoshop the tripod in, and we got it.
Yeah.
They're going after data centers, yet on the map where they have all the pings, by the way, there's no satellites, yet we know where all of the tripods are.
Yeah.
When they show that map, there's like, it shows in Northwest Africa, there's like 3 dots there, and I was like, what the fuck are they getting there?
Like Morocco.
What are they data mining there? Maybe they're just mining. Maybe that's what it is. They
They
want
want cryptocurrency.
They want the lithium for the batteries. That's what they're doing. It was all distractions so they can make
sure.
iPhones.
Oh, fuck.
Yes.
The aliens want to make iPhones, yeah.
That's going to be in War of the Worlds 2.
Starring
Ice-T this time.
Ice-T, yes.
Yeah.
Couldn't even get Ice Cube back. Have you seen those commercials with Ice Cube now?
He did a Minecraft commercial.
And he's on a computer.
Yeah.
He's like at his. They're capitalizing on the War of the Worlds thing with the Minecraft ads. Yeah. Ice Cube, what happened to you, man? Your music wasn't even good. When you were at your best, you were bad. You suck. Kiss my ass.
Last thing I'll say about this movie: if you see a drone that is upside down in the middle of the street,
oh my god,
and they ask you to flip it over, you get a free $1,000 Amazon gift card.
Dude, the fucking scene where the drone crashes somehow, and
it's fine.
It's fine. First of all, which drones are whatever.
Yeah.
Lands upside down. They somehow use a camera to like target a homeless person's phone, and they say, "Hey, if you flip that over, we will give you free Wi-Fi for a year." And he's like, "I don't want the government to track me." And they go, "Okay, here's an Amazon gift card." When it's like, what? How's he going to get the package? He has no home. Where's it going to get delivered to?
There's a 5-story tall robot right over his head blowing up buildings, and he's checking his texts and responding to like an 818 number that's saying like, go find that drone and flip it over and I'll give you free Wi-Fi.
It's so
and he's talking about, he's like, well, bro, I don't know if that's dangerous actually. As you would. You know, if I was in 9/11, I would be texting the phishing numbers. Yeah. Great film.
Oh man. So guys, do we recommend War of the Worlds featuring Ice Cube?
No, hard pass.
I think it's worth a watch. I think it's worth a watch just to see how ridiculous you can actually make a film. Yes, it's not a good movie, but it is absolutely worth a watch because of to see what you should ever avoid in making a film.
If you can stomach bad movies, if you're not one of those people that like genuinely gets hurt and like hates watching bad shit, I think this is worth a watch, but it is a genuine like 0 out of 10.
Yes.
It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Might be the worst. I'd have to think about it, but it's pretty damn bad.
Misery Loves Company. Watch it with a loved one. You need to be able to shout at the TV.
Yes.
You need to be talking to the TV or you can't. Maybe that's why I cut that out.
You did say that your mouth was agape most of this movie.
Oh, yeah. So there's like a few movies that I've watched that were so offensively like stupid that I was, while watching it alone, just like talking at the TV like, oh, fuck you. And I thought this movie was going to make me scream. And then you texted me like half an hour in, you're like, how much yelling have you done? And I had realized many times while watching it, I caught my mouth just going.
Me too. I was like, what?
I could not believe what I was seeing. And I've seen so many bad movies. I've seen so many. And this was a new experience. This gave me like actual leukemia. This gave me AIDS. This is the disease movie. This is the defining disease movie in my mind. Besides The Assignment. Different strokes. The Assignment is more fun to watch, honestly. This is the ultimate disease movie.
I think I agree. I think we somehow got the perfect storm of getting the worst movie ever made, released while we're doing this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't introduce you, but you are our friend Nick. Thank you for coming on. You're our first guest.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
The Knicks band together.
The Knicks, yes. This is a Nick podcast. And you guys can find us on patreon.com/yourolderbrothers. Go to Instagram at Your Older Brothers Podcast.
Sorry, I didn't know you were expecting me to
I fucking forgot the other one. yourolderbrothers@gmail.com if you want to send us anything about War of the Worlds. Tell us how we're wrong and how it's actually Kino.
If you worked on War of the Worlds, please write in and tell us just like how this came together, because there's only so much information you can find online. We understand it's a COVID movie, and apparently it was rewritten. Did you know this? This existed before COVID, like in screenplay form. Like they were already going to do like some kind of like modern like NSA Zoom call thing, and apparently they had to like rewrite it for COVID to make it like as bare bones as it was. But anyway, if you have any insider knowledge, I can't really find much online, and I really want to know. I need to know how this happened, because I mean, human beings, adult brains should not be able to have this outcome. My own way.
Damn.
Nick, any last words?
Any last words, man?
Watch War of the Worlds. Don't watch Weapons.
That was a good quick.
Yeah.